What's going on, you guys? Rice and Frony here. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing all right. Today is Tuesday. I hope everybody's enjoying you guys' Tuesday today. Today we have got some rice, broccoli, and barbecued chicken. Okay, let's go ahead and dig in. Let's see. All right. Oh, let's try the rice. Mm-hmm. Mm. I love rice. Mm. Mm. I also got some banana cream pie that my roommate made yesterday. Oh, this is so good. The banana cream pie, so good. Let's see. Try the broccoli. Mm. Just like broccoli, I guess. Mm. I'm so hungry, guys. I haven't eaten all day. Mm. Mm. Let's go ahead and dig into this chicken. Nice, barbecued. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, this is my favorite part. I peel off the crust. Look at that crust. Oh yeah. Let's see how this tastes. Mm. Mm. It was honestly my favorite part of the chicken. The crust. Mm. Oh yeah. So today I wanted to tell you guys a story about the time I hung out with these people that know how to play with Ouija boards. Well, at the time I was very curious into Ouija boards, right? So I got a hold of some people that actually know how to play it. So I think there was about 6 of us. We all got together and we ended up renting a motel just for one night. So we rented a motel. Later that night, we all got together, shut off all the lights, lit candles around us like a circle, and you know the guys did their ritual, whatever they did, One thing that was weird, that I thought it was weird, we all had to I don't know if you can see the scar in my hand. Maybe you can't, but let's see. Anyways, I had ended up cutting like right here, and what you do is put blood on the board, so that way if there's any I don't know if this is true or not, but that way if there's any bad spirits, and they want to possess somebody, they wouldn't be able to because there's already blood on the board. I don't know what the true story was behind it, but we all ended up doing it. And we all ended up smearing, not smearing, but like putting our initials, almost like our initials on the board, on different parts of the board. And so we all got in a circle, did the blood ritual, whatever that meant. And the one guy that was very like one of those people that doesn't believe it's real, right? The one guy that didn't believe of it made fun of it almost like. So we started the whole thing and he started giggling, right? And he started giggling and laughing and laughing and laughing of all the questions that were asked. And the one guy that was doubting the Ouija board, it was the guy that got possessed. Anyways, at one point he was laughing. It went from a low giggle to a higher pitch. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, he started speaking to like some crazy language. Like, and I remember him being across from me of the board, started speaking crazy language. I was like, "What are you saying, dude?" And after I said that, he himself levitated off the floor, like noticeably. We all noticed. And I said, you guys seen this? He's off the floor. He's levitating." And everybody was like, "Whoa," And as everybody noticed, the guy that got possessed was across from me, from the board, and he reached over the board, got real close to my face, and as he was talking into like whatever language he was talking into, he was starting to foam off of his mouth. And finally, the guy that was more experienced in a Ouija board, he got better control of the kid that was possessed. And I remember I was thinking to myself, he's probably possessed. I wonder what he's saying. It was scary, but you know, part of the Ouija board, you can't be afraid. You have to be open-minded. And as soon as the guy that got a hold of the situation better, and the kid was still possessed, he was still talking in whatever gibberish language. And out of the blue, the sink faucet in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and the shower, they all just turned on. We're like, "Wow," you know, it's so weird. We're asking if this is a real ghost. Do something to notify us that this is a real ghost. And all the faucets got turned on. And we're like, okay, well, if this is you, what is your name? And the board started spelling out whatever name of the ghost was. And turned out to be one of the kids' relatives or something like that. They were related to one of the kids somehow. And that kid ended up asking questions of, how are you related to me? And the kid said that whatever the board said was spot on about his family. And we're like, okay, well, are you a good spirit or are you a bad spirit? Well, the spirit ended up telling us that the spirit is there forever and will never escape hell. And we're like, well, what's hell like? And as we asked that question, the kid that was still possessed, he was like still foaming up the mouth and just hanging his head low and then rocking back and forth, right? And as we asked him that question, asked the spirit that question of how was hell like, and the kid that got possessed, he just fell over sideways. We're like, what is that supposed to mean? And the ghost or the Ouija board started spelling out, it's forever, it never ends. And finally, we'll go on the end of the board where it says end or close, so we can close the portal so it doesn't leave any unwanted spirits around us. So as soon as we did that, you know, we got up, we turned on all the lights, and as soon as all the lights turned on, all the faucets were off. And you could go over to the sinks and see that there was water running. And what was weird that night was I ended up walking back home, and out of the blue, this dude comes out of the dark alley. This was dark, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was walking back home, listening to music. I remember listening to music in my iPod, walking back home, and I see out of the corner of my eye a human being coming my way. And I look up, and I just smiled and, how you doing? And we ended up carrying a conversation of how politics, how politics sucks so bad. And I remember I didn't keep an eye contact with this person at all because he had a hoodie and you could barely see his face. I was almost like afraid to make eye contact with him. And I remember I got enough courage to look over and see, as we were carrying on the conversation, we were talking. I can hear him talking. As I turn over, there's nobody there. And I was like, so scared. was like, there's nobody. So I stopped and I looked around. As I looked around, and he stopped talking. And later that night, I was remembered thinking to myself, wow, I wonder if that was that person that used to be in the politics before he died. I remember thinking to myself like, I wonder what his death was like. And later, later that night, I was wondering to myself, why didn't I ask him for his name? I was basically carrying on a conversation with a stranger that wasn't there. I promise you, I didn't do any drugs. I didn't do any of, and I didn't do any drugs at all. I maybe drank, but hallucination and like talking to myself, like I saw this person coming at me, like literally, person hoodie up, and basic dark jeans. I didn't think of it, any of it, you know. I thought this human just wanted to talk. It was only right, but later that night, I finally went to sleep, and I dreamt of that person's life. And basically, it went as from that dark alley where he came out of, where I met him. That's where he died. He was killed by a car accident, and it felt like he was communicating with me, like he was trying to tell me his story. And I remember in my dream, like I remember the name. I looked up the mortuary or whatever, his name, and the search results come up, time of death and the death type, and he had 2 kids, and he was married. He was, at the time I was 22 years old, and the time of death it said that he was 30 years old. And I looked into it the next day, and I thought to myself, this is ironic because earlier that night I played with the Ouija board, and then I had that interaction with that person, and then I had a dream of how his death happened, and I looked him up online, and then exactly everything to the T. And I'm not going to expose his name online for his own privacy and his family's privacy, but it was rather a cool experience. Don't get me wrong, don't mess with Ouija boards if you don't know what you're doing. Make sure you have somebody with you that knows what they're doing, so you stay safe. And the guy that knew what to do with Ouija boards, he basically told me, "Hey, dude, you have like the powers of speaking to the spirits or the dead." And ever since then, I lay off the Ouija boards. That really scared me. I was scared so bad. But that was rather a interesting experience, rather scary, but I was more open minded to it than most people around me. If you're more open minded to it and realize that there's that royale, here, Jess. Opa. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Sorry about that. My phone just fell off. But anyways, I asked that dude that was good at Ouija boards, has a lot of experiences in it, right? He said, "Hey, dude, if you want to tap into those powers that you have, get a hold of me." And he gave me his information, and that was that. That was the last time I talked to that dude. But basically, from all that experience, don't play with Ouija boards if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're doubtful about it. When you're doubtful, that's when that's what they feed off of. They feed off of doubts and fear. Mm. Still to this day, every time I walk my dog, it feels like somebody's following me, somebody's watching me. But it hasn't hurt me yet. Nothing's happened. Nothing bad has happened yet. But you know, when you get that feeling like there's somebody else present there with you, and that's the feeling I get when I walk this girl right here, Jazz. There's a couple of other times where my dog would bark at the door. That's another story to tell you guys later on. But yeah, that was rather an experience, I'll tell you what. But yeah, so now I definitely do believe in spirits and ghosts, what other people would say. I definitely believe that they do exist. And if you're not prepared for it, don't do it. The outcomes may be something that you don't want to see or you don't want to experience. And some people might find it cool, some people might find it fascinating, scary. Me, it kind of like really, really made me realize that all things are possible. Your darkest thoughts, you know, things out there may be real if you have an open mind. But yeah, anyways, that's just my story for today. I hope you guys like this video. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up video on this video. Tell me some stories down below that you may have experienced or not. I'd like to hear it. But anyways, see you guys later. Thank you for your time. Goodbye now.